Tonight I'm staying at the Sebel Residences in Melbourne Docklands. The Sebel Residences is separate to the Sebel Hotel that's right behind me, although you'll check in at the reception area in the Sebel. The Residences is actually comprised of a number of apartments in 9 separate buildings in this area. So what you get may be quite different to what you see on their website. So the building I'm staying in is right across from the main hotel building in this building right behind me here. I'm staying in what Sebel call a studio apartment with a Juliet balcony, but it's more like a proper one-bedroom flat with a proper balcony. Let's take a look at the room. So there's a fully equipped kitchen, a proper oven, so you can make pizza, bake a cake, make a roast dinner. Also have a microwave, a dishwasher, a kettle, and you have a few plates and bowls, and a toaster up there. As well as a full-size fridge. There's a small lounge room with a sofa and a TV. There's 2 tables in the room, one which you could probably use as a desk, and the other one which you could use as a dining table. Also have a TV. And coming into the bedroom, we've got a nice big bed there, bedside tables with lamps, and another small TV in the bedroom. And we'll have a look at the balcony. Now it's advertised as a Juliet balcony, but it is actually a proper balcony. You can actually walk onto it. It's got a chair and a little table. We're just 1 floor up. Not the greatest view, but I've heard that the apartments facing the harbour are much nicer. It's the middle of the day. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. There's lots of sunshine and we've got the curtains open. Yet it's still really dark inside here. Now that's because we're in an area where we're surrounded by tall buildings, and we're just on the 1st floor, which means we're at the same height as the trees, and that also blocks out quite a lot of natural light. We have a laundry in the room with a washing machine. But look at all of this manky stuff around the side of the door when you open the washing machine. And got the ensuite bathroom as well, which is connected to the bedroom, with a nice walk-in shower with separate shampoo, conditioner and hand and body wash. A little sink here with more hand and body wash, and you can walk right through here back to the bedroom. Okay, so what's the bed like? It's got a bit of bounce to it, this bed. I'll hop on and view what it's like. So this actually feels like quite a comfortable bed. It's got a bit of a bounce to it. This is it's a comfortable mattress. I should sleep well on this one. I think most people would sleep well on this mattress. Guests staying at the Sebel Residences get free Wi-Fi internet access. Let's see how fast it is. Okay, so the Wi-Fi is not super fast, but it is fast enough to do virtually everything you need. Parts of the room feel like they should be in better shape, considering that the building couldn't be any more than about 25 years old. For instance, look at the gap between the bedroom door and the wall. Now, while it closes perfectly at the top, at the bottom there's a 3 centimetre gap. You'd think twice about buying a place if it was built like that, wouldn't you? The kitchen comes with pots and pans, but the quality is not the best. Just look at the scratches on the bottom of that fry pan. Now, there's a lot of debate as to whether scratches on Teflon fry pans are safe or not, but as a precaution, I just went out and bought my own instead. I shouldn't really need to have to do that. And on the ironing board, that's broken, so it just wobbles like this. Now, hotel ironing boards are generally not that great, but they should be more stable than this. A bit dangerous when you've got a hot iron sitting on there.
If this hotel was a biscuit, what biscuit would it be?
If this hotel was a biscuit, it would be a Monte Carlo. Like this hotel, it feels like the Monte Carlo has been around a while, and you don't get the added polish of a coat of chocolate or a salted caramel centre that you get with a more modern biscuit. And while a Monte Carlo is a substantial feed that many people love, it's not for everyone. And some people find that chalky texture a little bit off-putting. Let's take a look at the neighbourhood around the hotel. The location may vary a little bit considering that the Sebel Residences are located in 9 separate buildings, but they're all in the new key district of the Docklands, so it's not going to be too different to what you see here. Now, the building that I'm on is on a quiet cul-de-sac, surrounded by relatively tall buildings, which means that it does block out a little bit of daylight if you're on the lower floors, but it also means that it's a relatively quiet part of the Docklands. So even though it's a fairly densely populated area, it is fairly quiet. You don't have a lot of traffic going through here or anything like that. There's a convenience store on the ground floor of the building. At the end of this street, there is a tram stop with trams into the city centre. Now, even though the Docklands isn't strictly the city centre, it is within the free tram zone, which means you don't have to pay to hop on a tram as long as you're not going beyond the city centre. A really nice aspect of staying in the Docklands is that you're just a short walk from the waterfront. And it's a really nice spot to walk around, even though it's not the most vibrant part of Melbourne. It's a really nice spot. Okay, so here I am at the waterfront area of the Docklands. If you just look behind me, you've got a marina, lots of nice boats. It's a lovely spot to walk around. There's quite a few places to eat and drink. You've got fish and chips, ice cream, and there's a lot of restaurants on the ground floors of these buildings, and they don't really look like they're that successful. My guess is they're not that good. Which is a real shame because it's a really lovely spot to sit and have something to eat. Yeah, so this is a really lovely spot for a walk. You just walk along the riverfront, you've got some nice restaurants. So even though the neighbourhood feels a little bit dead at times, that doesn't really detract from the charm of staying here. It's just a lovely spot for a walk.
You're also close to the District Docklands Shopping Centre, cinemas and even an ice rink.
There's a food court with a good choice of places to eat and drink.
There's also the Melbourne Star observation well, although that stopped running 4 years ago. And there's also a big Woolworths supermarket nearby, which is a handy spot to stock up on essentials.
I had a relatively long stay here and I paid an average of $171 per night. That's a lot more than I've paid for a lot of other hotels, but it was a massive room, and having cooking facilities in the room meant that I was able to save a lot on eating out. I was disappointed with my stay at the Sebel, but I came here with high expectations. When I grew up, the Sebel had a reputation as a place where the rich and famous stayed, and TV programs would often end with a voiceover saying, "Our guests used to stay at the Sebel Townhouse." In its heyday, the original Sebel, the Sebel Townhouse in Elizabeth Bay in Sydney, was a favourite of many high-profile guests, including David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Elton John, Rod Stewart, and members of ABBA, The Clash, Dire Straits and Duran Duran. The hotel was featured in ABBA the movie, and in 1984, Elton John held his wedding reception at the Sebel Townhouse. Elton John can stay anywhere he wants, and he chose the Sebel Townhouse, so it has to be fancy, right? With this reputation, I came here with very high expectations. I also expected that the overall theme would carry over to the newer Sebel properties, but this just doesn't seem to be the case. It's also important to note that I booked the cheapest room, and that Sebel Residences is comprised of apartments in 9 different buildings. So obviously there will be some variation between one building and another, and your experience may be different to mine. I've also heard that the standard of accommodation is higher in the actual hotel across the road. While it isn't perfect, and there are better value places to stay, the rooms are big and you have everything you need to make yourself feel at home. It's perfect for a longer stay. For instance, if you've just moved to Melbourne and you need somewhere to live for a while you look for something more permanent. Or in my case, if you need somewhere to live for a few weeks between selling your old home and moving into your new one. However, given the choice between staying somewhere with massive rooms that aren't quite right and staying somewhere with smaller rooms where everything works, I'd probably opt for the smaller room. But if you want more space, then the Sebel may be a great option for you. Just don't come here with the high expectations that I did.